So Prussia versus the Goths is a pretty big deal because we now are using better units for the AI to take over cities. The AI should have a better job at sieging cities. They've done a pretty damn good job so far throughout this campaign, but things are only going to get easier from here. Something else to keep in mind is not only are these units getting better and better throughout the eras, but Prussia has their very strong, unique units. I think that they're, oh, that's really awesome. Their art style or their graphics are looking pretty cool. Prussia also has another unique unit. I'm not entirely sure if it's like a general or something, but yeah, these are unique melee units. I imagine that Prussia should have the advantage here, but of course everyone's mind is actually on what Bohemia is going to do in this situation. Bohemia doesn't really have a border with the Goths. I mean, let's disregard this one tile. It's not going to really. I mean, technically the AI. I don't know how much the AI calculates like the distance away from their own empire. That, you know, what did that go into the decision making on declaring war on another AI? But I don't know. Either way, this is my worry. My worry is that Bohemia is going to go attack Prussia now, and then Bohemia wins the game. Game over. If Bohemia declares war on Prussia, if Prussia loses enough troops, then game over. And I think it's actually a likely scenario, especially if nobody else gets involved. No one like the Huns. I don't know if the Huns are. I don't think the Huns have declared war on the Goths. I know that they have been at war in the past. If the Greeks don't get involved, though, you know, I would suggest Hungary, but Hungary would have a difficult time. I mean, you know, yeah, screw it. Like, just go ahead, Hungary, if you want to. If you want to, then, you know, you go for it. I was looking around the map, and I was trying to kind of gauge who I think will be some of the next civs to fall. My number one choice, I'm not saying they're going to fall first, but it's going to be a big deal when these guys fall. That's Flanders. I am really interested to see what happens with Flanders, because Flanders is bordered by the Danish, Bohemia, Bavaria, the Dutch. I mean, even the British can get over here. Even the British can go ahead and attack the capital of Flanders at the moment. So I don't know. I think that this is a really, I mean, and these are pretty big cities too. Flanders might be able to get a colony out if they don't already have a colony, which I think they might have a colony. I don't know. I cannot remember. It looks like Madrid will fall to Napoleon. Yeah, I think they're going to fall to Napoleon like right now. So I had an epiphany during the break, and there it goes. Bam. Let's go and check on the Gothic attack. I had an epiphany over the break. I actually don't think, this is my opinion. I haven't tested this out just yet, but I am pretty sure that the massive delays that we've seen in the past. Everyone's going to war with Norway, not Finland, Norway, right? Yeah. It's because of the map size, not because of the amount of civs themselves. When you have a big map, I mean, it could be. I mean, the bigger map, causes more units to be out there, more probably Civ AI decision makings to occur. Hittites now going after Norway too. We've got Bohemia building another wonder. This is Big Ben, and the French and the Moors have peaced out. So France is looking real good now with control over central Iberia. And I'm curious how Portugal is going to combat against this. Yeah, I think it's map size. I think that in the future I can continue to do 60 Civ AI onlys as long as I don't play on massive maps. It would be fine. Ooh, Sweden versus the British. Are the British looking weak or something? Kind of interesting. So that's just a theory that I'm going to test out probably in the future after this campaign is, maybe we will go back to a world map, but not the massive world map. Maybe kind of a more medium-sized one. And one thing I need to keep in mind is that a lot of civs have been destroyed by now. I mean, geez, what do we have? We have 40 civs left. So this is pretty much just a traditional AI only that we used to do back in the day. Ooh, this is a very smart choice for the Goths to attack this city that's, obviously not as well defended. The Ottomans going into a needless war. There we go. Okay. The Celts versus the British. That's pretty big. Also Bavaria and the Netherlands going after Hungary. Oh, that doesn't matter. They both don't border each other. Doesn't matter, Drew. Come on, dude. Get your head together. I'm very curious about that Celtic war. Now, the problem is that the Scottish are in the way. The Scottish are in the way. I would really, really love to see the Celts do good. I've said that before in the past in the series. It'd be amazing to see a strong Celtic empire. But right now, the Scottish are, well, there's an open borders agreement, so that's good. But I mean mostly these units here taking up all this space. Unless the Scottish themselves get involved in this, I think ultimately, their existence is just going to hurt this Celtic offensive move here. Okay, so we also have the Goths versus... Oh, really? Finland. Finland's going after the Goths now. I mean, they won't be able to do anything, but who knows? Who knows? Prussia's doing a pretty good job defending the city at 9 population. I don't know what the Prussian move here is to go into Bohemian territory, but okay. You can do that. Denmark versus Egypt. Egypt also doing pretty well so far. I think they're definitely underestimated. Okay, so the Celts are also going to attack Denmark for some reason. I'm wondering if this is going to distract them. How much, I guess, this is going to distract them, because I think it's a safe bet that the Danish can still definitely distract the Celts if they're, anywhere near the North Sea. Obviously, Denmark has quite a bit of cities and units here. Not very many naval units, which is kind of surprising. I don't know why. Harold always usually builds, pretty okay navy. Pretty okay. Wow. They pieced out. And why did you do that? That is one of the strangest diplomatic changes I've ever seen. One of them. We've probably seen them like 1 or 2 times before something like this happen. Prussia and the Goths just pieced out so that they could both team up to go to war with the Huns. It's as if Prussia just tried to bully the Goths into this war because the Goths knew that they were the ones that ultimately had a bigger border with the Huns. And Prussia knew that they'd be safe no matter what. That is so weird. That's really weird. We also have Assyria going after the Goths. Yeah, that's really strange. Probably a very good decision ultimately, though, for Prussia, because I think that it was going to be tough no matter what. I think Prussia would have maybe gained a city or 2, but they would have lost a huge chunk of military power if they did that. So this is a pretty big deal. We definitely need to take note of this. That Prussia is using Bohemian open borders. So they must be somewhat cool with each other. So it's unlikely that we'd see that war happen at least anytime soon. Anytime soon. Really loving Armenia. Greece versus Armenia is kind of a big deal. I really like the Armenian Empire right now. Although the Assyrians are doing well too. This conflict that will ultimately break out in the Middle East is also something that's going to be very exciting. See, that's the thing. The Bohemians have waited long enough where now, like, so much time has gone by that I think it's actually hurting them. It's going to start to hurt them now that they haven't gone to war with anybody else. Because look at the border in the Middle East. Like, you just have Armenia and Assyria here. That's it. So if one dominates the other, they will quickly become, #1 power in this map so far. Did anything else happen? No. I mean, kind of the same thing goes for Egypt for the most part. I don't know. Egypt doesn't look... Oh, it's because they're doing a sneak attack on somebody. That's why. The Moors and Rome have pieced out. I also think that the Romans will probably fall at some point too. Flanders and the Romans are on my list of empires to fall. And if it's the Vandals that accumulates both of these settlements, that'd be a very big deal. That'd be a huge, huge deal. Okay, Goths, people continuing to go to war with the Goths, but that's fine. That's totally fine. And I'm receiving text messages. We have Bohemia now versus the Goths, which is fine. That's not going to change anything. I don't think. Although we did talk about that one tile. There is one tile. That's just the weirdest thing, because they both teamed up for that war. That's so weird. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that Prussia and the Goths pieced out, and it was not a coalition, it was a team war. I don't know. Uh-oh. France versus Rome, Bavaria versus Rome. They should be, yeah, they'll be safe. I think for the most part, they should still stay safe. Portugal's staying really quiet, but man, I've got to admit, like, I should not be as quiet about Portugal. They're doing really well. I didn't realize that they had 3 cities in the Mediterranean and 3 cities out here along the Atlantic. I mean, the problem is that they're divided, but the only person they really need to worry about is France. And they can easily, Portugal might lose some of their, like, crappy cities, these puppeted cities, But I could see Portugal, boom, grabbing up Iberia and unifying Iberia that way. Anything else? Nope, nothing else. 267 AD, Finland and Arabia. I'm sorry, Norway and Arabia have peaced out. Morocco looks pretty good too. Yeah, Morocco looks all right. Are the Dutch continuing with colonies? Oh, we've got Carthage with another colony, probably coming up soon. I imagine maybe on this island here. Carthage always settles that island. It's kind of strange. Or maybe, I don't know, they've got another settler too. They could do a lot. Let's keep in mind that Greece is at war with Armenia. Technically, that's one of the biggest wars that have happened. Yeah, I mean, this is a good point right here. This would be a really good pickup for Armenia because then that gives them a bigger border with Byzantium. And Byzantium is doing, I think, all right now. I mean, I think they're doing okay. I don't think they're doing amazing. People are now piecing out the Moors. Let's also check on the Celtic-British conflict. Yep. If the Scottish don't get involved, then this is not going to result in anything. Yeah, I don't think so. But the Celts and Scotland clearly working together. And I'm starting to notice more and more that, Brandenburg Gate by Portugal. Scotland and the Moors have pieced out. Starting to notice more and more that the Dutch are sending a lot of units, embarking, sending them out to some of their colonies to, I think, defend. There it is, right there. Portugal versus France. And that was Portugal declaring the offensive war there. Remember, Portugal is, like, weirdly, remember when we checked on them? And they were, like, I think they were, like, in the top 3 in terms of literacy. That was so strange. I'm guessing because Lisbon is such a, that's only a 22 population. France is about the same in terms of technology. It's kind of weird that that Western Europe has, most people have riflemen now. The Goths, I think, are one of the only, actually the Huns are pretty behind in technology. If we go around looking for musketmen, that's how you can kind of tell some of the countries that, may be a little bit lacking. Byzantium here, Greece. Most people have started to make the swap. A lot of the African nations, somewhat behind. I think that's a nice rule of thumb. Fundamentally, what melee units do you have? Which melee units to have, and then that's how you can kind of decide where you are technology-wise. Embargo of the Moors and embargo of the Vandals. That's coming up. All right, let's see what happens. So Scotland will be able to actually do maybe a little bit, since Scotland has obviously also open borders with the Celts. And the Portuguese were kind of ready for this. This is going to be close. And like I said, Portugal doesn't really have to worry about anybody else. France does, though. France borders the Netherlands. Even though they seem to be okay with each other, they both also have military access. But you got to watch Switzerland. I mean, Switzerland doesn't have very good population, and it seems like they are behind technology a little bit too with their own musketmen. But hey, grabbing a city like Paris could totally change that. The Swiss could just make a comeback like that. Like that, out of nowhere. All right, so let's see what's happening. Okay, so Madrid is almost undefended right now. At this point, it's almost completely undefended. Songhai versus Armenia. I'm guessing Armenia's lost a little bit of units. They'll take this over. Oh, Greece with their own thing. And yeah, just like that, Madrid has fallen. And now there'll be and this is really big because there was already almost an infrastructure in place. Now Portugal can more easily reinforce Porto or vice versa. Portugal. What? Portico. Porto can. Everyone's going to be in the comment section now, just like, make Portugal great again. Porto can now also reinforce vice versa, like Braga or something like that. There's going to be a big battle here, though. This is getting real interesting. Oh, Florence declared war on the Goths. It's over. Yep, Tuscany's declared war on the Goths. Give up now. I love the comments. Some people telling me if Florence gets taken over, just end the series. We'll definitely have to have a moment of silence for sure. So yeah, these two are just going to swap cities, and they almost are at the exact same population. Yeah, they are at the exact same almost. No, they are at the exact same population, so there you go. They're going to change. And Armenia has really known... Assyria just declared war, didn't they? Has Assyria always been at war, or did I miss that completely? I think they just declared that war. And that is a really big deal if I missed that. Yeah, people were declaring war on Armenia. That's like the general consensus. Oh, crap. That's not good. I was so happy for Armenia. I was like super pumped. Okay, we'll have to keep that in mind. I don't know for sure. I might have totally missed that notification. We've got all this happening in Western Europe. And anything else happening in Scandinavia. I want to make sure nothing else. Bohemia is trying to squeeze down to attack Gothic territory. And then, yeah, there's a pretty big border conflict here. I think they're around the same technology level, though. It looks like the Huns are... No, they're about the same. They both have cannons. They both have musketmen. Both have crossbowmen still. Both have pikemen laying around, right? No pikemen for the Huns. Bam. All right, so there goes... the first Greek city taken from Armenia. I'm sorry, the first Armenian city taken for. Am I saying that right? I don't know what I'm saying. It's the crack. Just ignore me. Just ignore me. Yep, that is happening. That is very scary, especially because Assyria is already a pretty strong country here in the Middle East, in this region. So how's Portugal doing? Yeah, see, Portugal should be able to completely destroy Napoleon's navy. He should have no chance. Oh, and Portugal's cool with the Moors. This is the problem right here, is that the AI can't really reinforce, and you already have the Portuguese navy coming up and around Iberia. So I imagine when Napoleon begins to embark land units to get here faster, you might see a lot of Portuguese ships start to just pick them off one by one. Holy crap, why are there so many conflicts going on? Like, I don't understand why is everybody so angry? We need to be friends here. You know what? I think that these privateers are going to distract them for long enough, but I think reinforcements are coming for Portugal. It might be too late, though. Barcelona might have already sent its reinforcements out. Yeah, Portugal's going to lose these two cities, but, I mean, does it matter that much? Ooh, Portugal also has artillery. That will be a big factor in this war. A very big factor in this war. Looks like Rome's holding on, but obviously fighting a little bit. There's a few battles taking place. People piecing out with Norway. That's fine. No one's going to take over Norway. Norway should be somewhat safe. Oh, man. I mean, luckily for Armenia, this is like worst case scenario. It doesn't really get any worse than this. I guess unless Byzantium goes after them, which is actually really possible. But obviously, once they lose this city to Greece, it doesn't matter. Wow, Portugal is doing amazing. I don't know if they're going to hold on to this. Again, they might lose these two cities, but another first. Like, we've never seen Portugal control this much of Iberia. Obviously, their territory, they will lose territory, probably within the next one here. But seeing people like Portugal, the Celts do so well. Assyria, we've never really seen Assyria do this well, because they might take a city or two. Ooh, I love all the fighting going on in the Atlantic Ocean. That's really cool. This window does not matter at all. How is the ultimate warriors doing? Iceland's doing good. Hey, they got 3 cities. Not bad. Probably very far behind in technology, but yeah, that's okay. So this next episode for Portugal is probably going to be one of the biggest episodes for them in our entire history of playing AI-only battles, because we've never seen them this big. They might lose a city or two, but if they can hold on to their stuff, if they can defend their locations, and just keep France out of Iberia, I think that they'll be ultimately pretty powerful, because the Moors won't be able to stop them in a few videos, and then Portugal will have pretty much good control over the Western Mediterranean and the Atlantic. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.